Hello, hello, hello. This is Tom from Tom and Ruth Philippine Adventures. I hope everybody's doing good today. Today I want to talk about something. It's the, and I get questions about this, and I've gotten quite a few questions on this. The new USCIS policy update for children. This is a new policy. This policy actually goes into effect on October the 29th of this year. And one thing about this particular policy that bothers me is any children that are born outside the United States, now you'll be required to actually fill out forms and to prove that they are a citizen or will be a citizen. And even in the United States itself, they're trying to change the policy. So here, the appellate court is actually hearing a case right now by an Army veteran. He's Korean, he's a Korean Army vet, U.S. citizen, is trying to keep his daughter in the United States of America. And the appellate judge has it on his desk, and they're going to probably keep that there and look at other cases that's going to be added to that particular case, like they are the other USCIS programs that's actually going to affect. This particular one is added on to the existing policy. As you guys know, we've been talking about this for the existing policy is going to go into effect October the 15th. And it's going to affect the change of status and visa requirements. So this is going to really change a lot of people's lives if this thing is not kind of adjusted or taken care of. As you can see, that sun's bright, huh? So the key is always be prepared on anything that you do. So this particular USCIS policy is the children policy. So if a residence for children in U.S. Armed Forces are employed members of the United States military, and this is really focused on that. It's going to be focused on the immigrants that actually come to the U.S. and a child is born into the United States of America. What they're going to start doing is they're going to require those ones that actually have a baby, if it was born on American soil, it was a U.S. citizen. They're going to make that person, that family member, even though the parents are not U.S. citizens, but the child is, if it's born on the United States ground. So they're going to make those parents actually start to fill out a form. It's going to be what they call a N-600 form, or an N-600K form, depending. And you can also make sure you check. I'm not an expert on anything. I'm just reporting what I see and read. Make sure you check with an immigration attorney on any of these things that I'm stating about. You can find many, many great immigration attorneys online. Sometimes they'll chat to you for free at no charge. You just go online and find one, and they'll chat. There's a lot of them that give you great advice. I have a friend that's attorney in Miami. He's an immigration attorney, and a lot of the information I get, and I confirm it with him before I go forward and do these videos. So if you are a child, before you had a child, it was born, it was considered in the United States and even outside the United States. If you were a U.S. citizen, you had a child. Say I had a child. Ruth was pregnant and had a child. That child was actually considered a U.S. citizen. Well, not anymore. Not anymore. You're going to have to file what they call a certificate of citizenship, and it's the form 600 to 600K. And the reason why they're doing this is because they can. That's exactly the reason why they're doing this. Now, is it right? I don't think it's right, but I'm saying that they're trying to get this started by October the 29th. October the 29th of 2019, this will go in effect. So don't think that it won't. It will. And I know a lot of cases will probably be seen, and the judge will probably see a lot of cases before then, but they're saying this will go in effect. So if your child did not gain citizenship, even born in the USA, and did not gain their citizenship, you will have to file it before October the 29th of 2019. So if you have a child, say for instance, you're an immigrant, or you're someone that came to the United States and you have a child by someone and they're not citizens, you're still going to have to file. You're just going to have to file the paperwork. Now, this is going to actually also, it's not what's very important about this is if you're going in and out of the U.S. all the time, I say you're an immigrant and you're coming in and out of the country all the time, that does not establish U.S. residence, and that will not establish you as a U.S. citizen. Just because you fly, say you're a person from Russia and you're flying out doing business for India or Pakistan or whatever, doing business all the time in U.S., that does not give you rounds or reasons to say I'm a U.S. citizen. I'm flying out of here all the time. I live here, really more so. I'm on a tourist visa. I'm on a work visa. I'm on a visa. It does not mean that you can get that. So it's actually, it really makes a big difference. Also, children living with parents abroad who is a government employee or military service member will have to refile. If that child is not a citizen and not was, they're going to have to refile that. So if you're, say you're a government employee, you've been out of the country for whatever time, a year, 6 months, or a year, 2 years, you're going to have to refile the paperwork. Now, in a lot of cases, the ones that, here, if you have a child and you're born, he or she, you're okay. If you are a U.S. citizen, under the new rule, you still have to refile if you're outside the United States. Now, you can also check with an immigration attorney. I asked my friend that big question. So how is it going to affect a lot of people? It'll affect just about everybody that's there. But please check with your immigration attorney now and make sure that if you have a child you're trying to adopt, or you're trying to be, it's your stepchild or things like that, make sure the paperwork goes in before that time, or something goes into effect before the 29th of October to actually show that. Also, adoption of a child, it will affect that adoption. So after that time frame, so you have to get the paperwork in by the 29th. I did not think that it would matter, but really, apparently it does. Now, I got this information off the United States USCIS website. You can actually go on. I will put a link on there to show you exactly what it is. This case was filed August the 28th of 2019. This is the final rule. So we will see what happens with this. So they say this will go in effect according to what I've been told. I don't know if it will or not. That's what I was told. Child is U.S. citizen with Social Security or passport is okay, of course. If one of the parents are a citizen, that's okay. So if you're outside and you're a citizen in the United States and your child is, you're trying to adopt that stepchild, you're okay. So it reads in 2008, this thing changed quite a bit in 2008 because they did updates back then, and this new update's now going 2019, and they're doing it on under the public charge rule because they can. It's easier to slide all this in all at one time than to not put it in. As you know, it's the same thing on a particular bill that's going through Congress. This bill or a bill will go through Congress, and they'll add all these other things onto it because, oh, it's going through. So let's put this in there, let's put this in there, let's put this in here. So this more likely will go in effect under the new public charge rule thing. And like I said, the State Department is writing up documents now, and so you're going to see the State Department coming up a new program too, coming up real soon. I knew this would happen. I just did not think it would happen this quick. I figured it happened September, October, November after this goes in the October the 15th date. But no, they're putting the children in first. I see what they're doing here. They are also saying that military bases are not U.S. territory. So if you're stationed outside the USA, you cannot use that as, oh, I have someone here, I guess somebody pregnant. So you will still have to file the forms. If you are on military orders, you are okay. So if deployment or things like that, you can actually do that and take that to the consulate. You do not have to go back to the United States. You can actually file the paperwork as your deployment. And what I mean by that is if you're deployed out, if you're a U.S. government employee, you have to file the paperwork. If you're deployment in military and you're deployed out and your wife is pregnant and has a baby, you're okay because you're a U.S. citizen and you're military under deployment. Deployment is the only key there. If you're deployment and you're out, you've done that, you're okay. But if you're a government employee or you work somewhere and you're a U.S. citizen and your wife is pregnant and you have a baby, or your girlfriend's pregnant, it doesn't matter, baby, you're going to have to file the documents under the new plan, new setup after the October the 29th. I think too many dates. So there's all these new rules are going into effect. I just want everybody to be prepared. So if you're an American, or if you're an immigrant in the United States of America, they say, if just make it to the soil, have the baby there, and we're set. Well, not anymore on a new program. They're going to have to file paperwork and prove. And then what's going to happen, they're going to have to prove a lot of things. You want to file your son to be a citizen? Are you a citizen? If you're not a citizen, who are you? And how did you get here? And how are you here? So you can see the keg of worms this whole thing's going to open. And as my friend said, it's going to open a keg of worms that some people are not going to want to open up. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. So you're an immigrant, you're here. How are you here? How did you get here? And you're not a citizen. Okay, let's take a look at you. And you're trying to say, so what they're saying, we're going to get to the children first. And we're going to get to the children's being born. So just because they're born on United States soil after the October 29th date, they will no longer be citizens. So that's what the new rule stated. I want to thank everybody for watching. Please subscribe and like.